Detective Gumshoe's a goner. What happens? I'm counting on you to bail me out. Yeah!
Hold it!
Objection!
Take that!
Eureka! Gotcha!
Objection!
Hold it!
Objection!
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 What is going on, everyone? Basic Consistency here. Welcome back to some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney action. So let's go ahead and get this episode started of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So we're jumping back into this now. We are done with the latter part of the last trial, so we're gonna jump into some more investigations, I'm guessing. So now we're not gonna say no thank you game. February 24, 3:12 p.m. Wright and Company Law Office.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm so sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he'd reserved.
Oh. Why did she say that?
I didn't know. I never knew that the SL-9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings.
Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me.
Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
What do you mean? What happened to you?
It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma?
On the night Prosecutor Neil was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me.
What? He tried to kill you?
Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me.
So that means you...
Yes, I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial.
I didn't see that one coming at all. Oh shit. This is getting good. Let's talk to Emma real quick. We want to know about the SL-9 incident.
It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together when she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office.
Joe Dark.
It seems like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake Marshall's brother.
Joe Dark tried to take me hostage. But before he could, Mr. Marshall attacked on him. Then,
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind, and I can still see it now.
A permanent picture? Uh-oh. We need to learn more about this permanent picture. So what happened after the incident?
I don't remember the moment when Joe Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall.
So you weren't able to testify about that?
No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why why she made up the crime.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence, and Mr. Edgeworth used it.
Edgeworth. Edgeworth is always he's always involved in these cases.
Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He shouldn't have known he was giving false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened.
No. It's so true. Even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence.
After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today.
She must not have been able to face up to what she did. Especially not to Emma. Well, we want to learn more about this permanent picture. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred?
Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl?
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Emma. You've been through so much. Oh, I feel so bad for Emma now.
I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good.
2 years ago. You must have been 14. That's understandable.
Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any.
I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's one thing that's puzzling me right now, Emma. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma.
What is it?
You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right?
That's right.
Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor.
Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day.
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police?
Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office.
But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office?
Because the detective's office is in the questioning room or right across from the elevator.
Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force.
What? That's news to me.
After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
Lana used to be a detective? I'd better have another talk with her. And now. Come on, Emma, we're getting the frick out of here. We need to go to the detention center's visitors room right now. February 24th, detention center, the visitors room, of course. Where else would it be?
Lana! Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble.
Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type.
Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty.
Exactly.
Believe me, I understand the risks.
Lana, Emma told me about you.
Oh?
About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office.
That's right.
Could you fill me in on the details? Especially about what unusual change of jobs?
I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright.
I need to know everything. And we need to find out the right way. Tell us about today's trial. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today. Not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago.
Evidence from that case was stolen. I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul.
Oh my god. Dang, those choice of words there. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department.
Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said. But you stabbing Mr. Goodman with the knife? Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me.
I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so fazed before. Can we talk a little bit about you, Lana Sky?
It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together.
Chief Gant?
Then he was the vice head of criminal affairs, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed.
Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened?
I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could later use that experience in court.
Dang, she's speaking for her.
Gant's help in this SL-9 incident was critical in its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office.
Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Can we learn about this dark investigation?
2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Doc.
Second in command? That means the chief detective was, no doubt, Damon Gant.
Yes, Detective Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations.
They even had the same office.
We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Doc was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when the last murder took place.
When he tried to murder Emma.
Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me.
Now you tell us. Well, talk more about it.
Detective Gant and Prosecutor Marshall were the ones questioning Doc that day. The investigation was in its final stages when Doc must have panicked. He waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Detective Gant and myself. That's where he found me.
So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana?
It appears so. I was filling some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Doc.
So did Lana kill him? Because that would make sense.
When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood.
3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out.
And the suspect? Joe Doc. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Doc had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious.
What did you do?
To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her.
Can't blame her, after all her sister must have gone through.
After that, I placed Doc under immediate arrest.
Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident.
That's right. Quite a coincidence, huh?
I don't buy it.
What are you saying?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance.
But that case was solved 2 years ago.
At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Officer Marshall. Yes. His actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories.
That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right?
Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The chief's office.
Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of that final SL9 murder. Looks like we gotta go back to the police department, ladies and gentlemen. This is getting good. I think we have to go to... How do we get there? February 24th, the police department, criminal affairs. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere.
Things seem kind of quiet around here today.
You're right. The head of the department seems the same, though.
Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to?
Right. We can come back here later. Let's try it out. We'll move again. Police department entrance, or we can go to the detention center. February 24th, police department entrance. Howdy, Bambina.
Oh, Mr. Marshall.
I never thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. Okay, sir. You never know where life will lead you. Hey, Bambina. I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning.
Billy? Who the fuck is Billy?
Must be his pet cactus. What kind of random thing is that? Must be his pet cactus.
Phoenix Wright, why would he have a pet cactus?
Who knows, but his name is Officer Marshall. With his pet cactus, he will ride the sunlight. He will lead us all to justice with his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. The voluntary experience. But we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry. But you can't go in the evidence room today, partner.
But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it?
Why do prosecutors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in.
Oh, I'm talking to his voice still. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened?
Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Nope. No steak lunch for you, my brother. The only steak you're eating is the dark trial. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so.
What do you mean by fishy?
Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon.
The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip?
That was Joe Dark's, all right. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised.
A question?
The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained.
What does that mean?
It means there's a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon.
Ugh, what? No way.
However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased.
Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence?
That case left behind scars on all of us.
The scars that the SL9 incident left behind?
Oh man. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together.
How old was he? Your brother?
He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day.
The highest honor? You don't mean
King of prosecutors.
not that again?
What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor.
Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day the SL9 incident took place, that was the same day as...
That's right. It was the day of the evidence transfer.
What? Interesting.
It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die.
Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty.
Talk about them scars. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room.
What about Detective Goodman?
If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be obvious.
They? What are you talking about?
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean, Damon Gant and Lana Sky.
Ooh, Gant and Sky, we need to learn a little bit about them.
Chief Detective Damon Gant and his second in command, Lana Sky. The Bambina herself. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both their careers.
After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right?
Yeah. Damon Gant The new chief of police arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too.
Tell me, what happened to my sister?
Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Not a secret. It all started 2 years ago. There he goes. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? Oh, we definitely enjoyed it, partner. You know what I mean? We definitely enjoyed your story, Mr. Marshall.
I feel like I should be in a Western film.
It was certainly, enlightening. There was one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He's my friend. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Game. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Damn! Oh, this man's going off! Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Man, that man's about to go in there and do what? That's the question that we are about to find out right now. Let's go into the Criminal Affairs Department. February 24th, Police Department, Criminal Affairs. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted.
That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes.
Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do. About Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those.
Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office.
Just head across the hall to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor.
Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything.
Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Dang it. Why would you do that, Emma? We almost had it. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office.
We're gonna go in there anyway, so we'll see you later. I'm going to the chief's office. Ooh, this is awesome. Ooh, damn. This place is awesome. February 24th, Police Department, Chief's office. Look at this place. It's massive in here. Whoa. Where am I?
In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door.
Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it?
Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Back. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes.
Stop playing it. Stop playing it.
I never could remember what C was.
Oh, there he is. Oh, it's you two. Chief Kent. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. So, Mr. Wright, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately, actually. Have no time for pools. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full, too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about that forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. Now I'm pulling my hair. My, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? Look at it. Look at it. It is a nice picture indeed. That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right up with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. We're taking it, though. What is he? He's just staring at us right now. Anyway, I like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. Play with my hair again. I'm gonna lock up here, so let's go out together.
Oh, But this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That case is long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. Nah, you need to leave. Wait, whoa. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I say it. There's no need to investigate it anymore. Look at that face. I think we need to leave, Emma. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Well, it looks like we're not going in there.
Looks like we aren't welcome.
Seems that case isn't over with yet, after all.
What do you mean?
Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there.
You mean like a clue?
There's gotta be a way we could get inside the chief's office. But how? Let's try to go back in there. Back into the criminal affairs department. February 24th, police department, criminal affairs, yet again for the third time. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe, were you in a meeting? I was, just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
From sitting so long in the meeting?
Actually, I had to serve everyone coffee. I don't know why I'm the coffee man. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Sir, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth! Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battle between you two in court. That sounds serious.
Is it because of what my sister said?
That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood.
Yikes!
Dang it. Well, let's talk to Mr. Gumshoe here and see if he can get us into this office. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence he presents in court. Not only that, but as you know, there've been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. Those who don't like him haven't been able to do anything because of his clean record. Amazing talent as a prosecutor. But now with this thing,
Are there really so many people who hate him?
in our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only had that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey, Dick! Keep up the good work! Yes, sir. Stop calling me Dick! Let's go out for lunch sometime. My treat! Yes, sir! You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir! It seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about it. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. So tell us about the SL9 incident. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier, while the coffee was brewing. He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean... when he killed a prosecutor marshal, he was trying to protect some girl.
Me.
It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's where he left the most incriminating evidence of all.
Well, what was it?
Oh, listen. I think it has something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never fail to impress.
Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory.
Alright, let's show him the switchblade that we got. Where's it at? That's Edgeworth's knife. Here it is. Smack that in your face. About this. Hey! Don't tell me that! It has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you trying to do with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker.
Okay, let me write this down. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker. And was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler.
That's it. Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me.
Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again.
Yes, tell us everything you know. Dark's crimes. Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman? What made him take to serial killing? One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car.
With his car? So, it was an accident?
An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal.
An animal?
He killed a man that witnessed this attack. Then he killed a lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. Then he was burying bodies, so Jogger came upon the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in. Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Holy shit. Of course, it was all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So, he turned himself in? Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marsh. That crime was witnessed by someone too. But fortunately, he was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness? He must mean Emma. What about the murder weapon? This knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? Well, that's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at, and it had fingerprints on it too.
But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken.
You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in.
Where was it?
The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body.
Oh, what?
It was found deep inside the stab wound.
Did it match Joe Dark's knife?
Oh, you bet. Down to the last fiber.
That's pretty conclusive.
And we got the switchblade knife. Added to the court record. Sweet. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know.
Can I ask you one more thing?
What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Kane.
It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief's out now, and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around if that's okay.
Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door.
What? Really?
What if I let a civilian in there? I'd be charged with a breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
Simply put, it'd be Ken.
Oh.
Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. You're really not worth it, Mr. Wright.
Well, whatever. About this ID card, it was Detective Goodman's.
That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died.
Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind.
What could we show him? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we have to leave here. Let's try going here. We could go to the underground parking lot. Fairway 24! Prosecutor's office. Underground parking lot.
No one's here today. Not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in that evidence room. That must be where the detective are. But we proved in court today that no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. Gotta find all the answers by tomorrow.
We could always go to Edgeworth's office. Talk to him. February 24th. Prosecutor's office. Room 1202.
I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet.
Edgeworth, are you here?
There he is. It looks like he's writing something.
Huh? What are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor.
Tough day in court, huh? I've lived the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you.
That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Well, we just want to talk to you for a little bit there, pal. You're gonna tell me everything you know. Tell me about the forged evidence. It's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I can do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified? The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error. My responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I may have.
Mr. Edgeworth?
I take pride in my work. So tell me why? Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. What about tomorrow's trial? Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial, and now this one. Seems all you do is worry about me, Mr. Wright. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial.
Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? That list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but at the time there was only one thing on my mind. I'd use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty.
Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time.
That picture, something seems strange about it. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one.
Because you were awarded this?
Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back.
Take something back?
This.
Oh yeah, Chief Can asked you to hold on to that, didn't he?
Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to. That's right. Maybe we should show him the Gantt picture? Because wasn't there something weird about that? I don't think the trophies look the same. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gantt's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken where he received the King of Prosecutors trophy.
Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me.
Yes.
The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding, it's a little different than yours.
Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? That was the official prosecutor trophy used until that time. There's a story behind it.
The story?
Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. Contradiction? Let's talk to him. Prosecutor's Trophy, tell us more. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with two characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though? For Emma's sake. Very well. You could tell Phoenix Wright really didn't know, but he was just like, just tell us so we all know. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other! Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus, the Chinese word for contradiction was born. I like how these writes like, contradiction! Objection! Objection!
Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize...
Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant of a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this.
Wow! Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today.
That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant. We still need to talk to that fool. Alright, so I think we got all we could out of Edgeworth, so let's go back to the underground parking lot, because that's all we could go to. February 24th, prosecutor's office, underground parking lot. Excuse me? Oh, it's you again.
Would either of you care for a quarter pound of roast beef?
Miss Starr, I guess she's out of lunches.
You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Why would do you like sucking that cow's nipple, Mr. Wright?
Why would you ask me that? That's weird. Why are we talking about cow's nipples? That doesn't make any sense. Why are we discovering milk? No. Too much.
Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago.
Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence.
Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene I happened to witness.
The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife.
No matter how much the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten.
Miss Starr's hatred toward Lana and her love for roast beef is insanely high. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Should we talk to her? Let's talk to her. With a dark investigation, we want to know everything.
Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was, and those days was steamier than a bowl of hot gravy.
What is up with her and these food references?
Poor old Jake Marshall, though. Must have been going through hell.
You mean, because of his brother's death?
They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate.
Her?
Lana Sky. My sister? The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo.
It comes back to these two all the time.
Lana and Chief Gant?
It always comes back to those two.
That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we're so shocked over how it turned out.
You mean, with the forging of the evidence?
Don't get me wrong. Joe Darkwood got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. But you didn't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana's guy transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a chief prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Sky was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter.
She was being used? Whoa. That got different.
Damon Gadd and Lana Sky. 2 years ago, Gadd was chief detective and Lana's second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gadd's magnetism in particular was also unreal.
His magnetism?
By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He'd produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled.
Incredible evidence? You mean?
Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him though.
I take it she's talking about forged evidence.
Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn out so cold after that?
How was she being used, though? Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she?
Yes, thanks to Chief Kent's powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way.
Hip. That hair flip, though.
The prosecutor's office.
What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred?
If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change.
At last. I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr.
You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chief than I've been.
I will be a better chef than you, even though I said chief.
Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget.
Hopefully.
We trailed him for her.
I didn't even ask you anything. She just walked into this dialogue. I didn't even ask her anything. She just gave me this dialogue.
We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steaming to the bullet.
Wait, what? Didn't we see this already? Okay. We need to go back to the chief's office. So back to the police department once again, guys. Once again. And hopefully the criminal affairs department. Here we go. February 24th, police department, criminal affairs. Oh, you're back. You're still here? I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files, blah, 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 blah. I'm turning into a regular DJ.
You're a TJ as well?
If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey.
Okay, writing that down. Oh, that DJ.
I gotta admire your persistence. But my answer's still no. I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line. That office is the last scene. That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there.
There's gotta be something we can do to make the chief detective change his mind.
I'm just smiling. What can we do? Can we talk to him? He doesn't have anything new for us. So, let's go ahead and examine in here. This was the paper that Edgeworth had threw on the floor last time we were here. Let's check it out. I wonder what he was writing before.
Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look.
Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there.
Just distract him. I'll check it out.
Hey, Edgeworth! Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground! Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet. He didn't even look. What? The letter of... If you can't read, I'll read it for you. It says, letter of resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, Mr. Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died.
But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault.
I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh. I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something.
This letter of resignation. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. Okay. Maybe this is what we need to give to Detective Gumshoe. So, let's go back and see what he says. All right, Detective Gumshoe, we're gonna go ahead and slap this letter of resignation in your darn face. Because that's what you get. Or just crumpled up piece of paper. No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious! Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they've pushed him this far.
Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible.
At first I thought he was as cold as ice. But now I know different. He trusts us detective to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him.
Detective?
That's it. I made up my mind. Oh, he did?
But...
Here, take my ID card. We can't do that. If someone found out.
They wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report.
Look at me. There's no secret I've already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this. For Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Alright. Detective, thank you. Alright, so let's go back into the chief's office. We got the keys. I got the keys. February 24th, Police Department, Chief's Office.
Here it goes, Mr. Wright.
Hey! Looks like we're getting through. Ah! We're back in here, huh?
Open sesame. If anyone finds us now, we're fucked.
Detective Gumshoe's a goner. That happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Yeah! Wait, what? What's going on?
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah! Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too. If you're here, then what's the point of giving us your ID card? Crumpled Gumshoe's ID card in pocket. Hey, don't do that to my ID card. What you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? I hardly ever got a chance to come in here. So I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. We're all in this together. Okay, no High School Musical today.
You really do want to get fired, don't you?
Well, we're really lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find. I've got a bad feeling about this. Bad feeling indeed. Alright, let's talk to him. The chief's office. A desk on the other side of the room. Was that your sister's?
Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago.
Is anyone using it now? No, sir. There's an entirely chief's games off that. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. That's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time, of course. I see.
So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk?
No one except Chief Gant. And I and the cleaning lady who's in here each morning.
Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues here. What about Chief Gant?
Can I ask you something?
Sure?
You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes? I mean, that's the only reason for coming here, right? Isn't it?
Why do you ask?
You don't think... Nah, you wouldn't be... No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay, now then, let's look around a bit more.
Hey, hold on. That's not so fast, buddy.
Huh? What is it?
When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go off like that.
Sorry? This guy's starting to get on my nerves. Why do you come here? Okay, so what's bothering you, Detective Gumshoe?
You two don't think. Chief Gant, might be a suspect, do you?
What? Yeah, Mr. Wright, what do you think of him? Chief Gant? So it's finally coming to this? What do I think of him? I don't know. Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet.
There he goes, ignoring me again.
Sorry. I have nothing to say at all. So let's go ahead and examine this room. We got to talking. Let's examine. Now there's a safe over there. That's kind of weird. This is a safe, isn't it? Looks kind of like a microwave.
Safe? That word is ripe with intrigue.
Okay, if you say so.
It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it.
A 7-digit number. I think I just might know what it is. Really?
Do you know what it is?
I have a hunch.
Oh, I know. You want to try my birth date, isn't it? It's...
What's your birth date? I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Well, what is his idea? Is it just... Let's just try it. Fuck it. I think that's where Phoenix Wright's kind of getting with that. Yeah, I knew it! Code confirm, access granted. Yep, this game is just that silly. This game is just that silly. You just gotta know the humor. Bingo.
What number did you enter?
Whose birthday was that, pal?
777777777. The final ID card number on that record.
What?
The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day.
You mean 77777777777? That ID number.
I think you're the one 7 shy this time. This could only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number.
Say, anyone care to look inside?
Not really. But let's go ahead and look inside, I guess. Oh my god, I don't really want to look in there.
Is there any money in there? How much do you have stashed away?
Look, it's a
A shard from a broken cup.
This somehow looks familiar. What have I seen this before?
something else in here too.
What's this? Looks like a piece of leather cloth. Wait, didn't we see this in the evidence room?
This is a handprint, isn't it?
Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, it was just a thought.
Is that it? This is all that was in the safe?
Apparently so. It's empty now.
Piece of cloth with a handprint on it. And a broken shard from a cup.
They look like pieces of evidence.
Unless you can prove that they have something to do with the case. I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here.
Great. I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SL-9 case?
Come on! There's gotta be something we can show the detective.
Crap. Wasn't it? I swear that piece, we got a jar before, or like some kind of cup. Like in the beginning of this game.
Oh, here it is. Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar? All of us put that back together. Oh, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic.
I'm writing this down. Wasn't this a jar piece of evidence from that case?
That's right. One of the shards had an SL9 incident sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found? You mean this one? That was in the safe?
Yes, this one. That was in the safe.
Wait. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Symbol fragments. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do.
Mr. Wright, here's some glue.
I can piece this together again. It'll prove Chief Ged was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. It just goes right there, right? Oh wait, I gotta flip it. Maybe it goes like this? Ah. Perfect. There. It fits like a charm. That of course means Chief Ged willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe.
What?
In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident.
What?
Hey guys, get a load of this. What is it? This piece you've just attached. It's different from the others. What the hell is that?
There's a reddish line on it.
A reddish line? That's blood. I don't get it. Why would Chief Ged hide this in his safe? We have no idea. But I mean, it fit perfectly. But we need that cloth. How are we gonna get that cloth from him? Maybe that fingerprinting set? Let's see. Where is that? Right here? Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints?
That's a great idea, Detective.
Alright, go to town. Sheesh. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead, take my fingerprints.
What? It's not your fingerprints we want to take.
Huh? Come on. This isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in that safe. Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Oh, sheesh. Where's your sense of humor? I have a sense of humor. You're just screwing me over today.
Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth, and once they've absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away.
Oh, here we go with the blowing again. What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told 1,000,000 times. All right, let's get this over with. Let's try this. Oh man, I sucked at this last time. Examine. Spread the powder and blow. Here we go. We're spreading the cocaine like we've never done before. There we go. That's the button. Aha! I gave it my best shot.
That kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it?
But it doesn't look like we'll get a clear result from this print. Okay, let's try a different finger then. Okay. Maybe this top one? Oh, smear the cocaine all around. Isn't this just fun? Okay, it's that button. All right, we got it this time. There it is. That's a good fingerprint. That's a beautiful fingerprint. There we go. Is that it? Or do we need more? Maybe more at the bottom right there? There we go. Let's check it. That's not Damon Gantz. It's not his. That looks a lot like Lana Skies. Let's throw it. Let's see. Nope. No matches found.
No, that doesn't match. It looks like we're out of clues this time. Yeah. But it was inside the chief's safe.
Right, along with that shard.
So that means it's gotta have something to do with that incident.
The one that happened right here in this room? She's right. We should check the fingerprints of everyone who was in here that day.
Oh, I see it. There's a higher power at work here. You just gotta have faith.
Who else could it be? Maybe it could be Emma's? Oh, it is. It is Emma's. It's Emma's. It's a perfect match. Guys. Guys. No. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here?
Hey, you found a match. Whose fingerprints were they?
Huh? Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match.
Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints.
Psst. Hey, you. Over here. What's going on here? What are the kids' prints doing inside their shoe safe?
Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now.
Here. Maybe you should hold on to this.
Strip of cloth, okay. So we'll take that. What else can we examine in here? Maybe his desk?
Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk.
Speaking of that, when we were here earlier. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. I wonder what he was reading.
This looks like a list of evidence. Here's it again.
A list of evidence.
In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this.
Hey, look at that case name.
SL9 incident. I wonder what this is doing here.
Hold on, Detective. What did you just say?
I said, I wonder what...
No. About evidence list. Normally they're twice as long.
That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence.
A half-sized list of evidence? That list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here?
I knew it. The chief must be hiding something about that case.
It would appear so. Isn't it kind of illegal to be breaking into his room taking all this stuff?
Well, was I any help?
Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence.
That's not.
Oh, I bet this is Chief Gant. Now that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Yeah, there it is. Isn't that right? You in the coat.
Oh!
Chief Gant!
We didn't think you'd be back so soon.
Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in science. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog running right into a pole. Just then I thought of a certain detective.
Do you mean, me, sir?
Now then, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir. Sorry. Oh, you in the coat.
Me, sir.
Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore.
But, sir.
I said, get out.
Yes, sir.
We'll be on our way too then.
Wait, you the one with the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? I'd like a word with you. But, sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet. You with the spiky hair, you're free to go. Mr. Wright.
We're just gonna leave her in there?
Look, pal. I told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you?
I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired.
Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it.
Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. It's hard to believe anyone could keep quiet about it all this time.
Anyway, you listening to me. I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal.
After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police want to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day.
February 24th, detention center, visitors room.
I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning.
It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here.
But I've already told you all I can.
What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing.
Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman.
You know, I think I finally figured it out. Who it is you're hiding behind those words.
Duh. Mia did a good job entering you. I'm rather jealous.
What?
It seems Edgeworth was right.
Edgeworth?
Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe.
Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. Alright, Lana, tell us why you have been keeping quiet. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, that there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual.
What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I am protecting this person?
Protecting? No. I think afraid of is more like it. I bet Damon Gann is blackmailing her somehow. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to stay silent.
For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who may I ask is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name?
Right there. Take that! Well, Miss Sky?
Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place.
Oh, I know my place. But I know what's going on with you. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans.
My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about the circumstances?
Damon Gant, tell me more.
We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective.
Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes?
His crimes?
Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence.
Of course. These are serious offenses.
Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned?
Chief Gant.
Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly investigated that evidence was
Me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation.
yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant.
If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case.
Oh girl. We got so much. We can give you the evidence list, or do you want this, or what do you want? We'll give you the evidence list. I just found this in a safe in the chief's office. This jar piece and this strip of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident.
Bye.
The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him?
Touche, Mr. Wright. This is as you surmised. I cannot disobey the chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder.
Why not?
Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate.
In the murder of Detective Goodman.
Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate.
What were your orders?
Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day.
I need you to dispose of Miss Goodman's body. You find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. What? Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman.
Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car, The trunk was broken. I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body.
The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife?
No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it.
The knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife.
I couldn't just leave that knife in him. So I took it out and stabbed him with another knife.
That would be Edgeworth's knife.
That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him.
Oh, that's where Miss Star saw Lana attack him, supposedly.
That's why I ended up cutting my hand.
And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand.
Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in.
Miss Star. Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly?
It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want to be opened up. I never wanted it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that, by whatever means possible.
So, you hid Dark's knife?
The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that.
So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it in Edgeworth's exhaust pipe.
Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened. Then I asked her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler.
You asked Emma?
I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this.
That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence.
Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day.
A bad feeling.
The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall.
To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him?
The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted the fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only person I could trust. Or at least, I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escape.
Escapade of his own. Oh, you mean...
No, not wanting the case to die. He decided to take things into his own hands.
He disguised himself as Officer Goodman and tried to steal the evidence.
He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared.
So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room?
I'm afraid that's all I can tell you.
But Lana...
You've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow.
Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. To be continued.
Hope will never die. Can you see the sun is shining on me? It makes me feel so free, so alive. It makes me want to survive. And the sky, it makes me feel so high. The bad times pass me by. 'Cause today is gonna be a brighter day. Can you feel the sunshine?